Positive markets and one of the most exclusive economic events on the calendar. Those are our topics for today. Hi, I'm Jamie French with Advent Partners, and I want to start with a quick update on the markets year to date. If you looked at the period from May to July for 2025, it was the fourth best year since 1950 for the S&P 500 in terms of returns. And it did that with quite a bit less volatility than what we experienced earlier in the year. If you measured volatility by looking at the number of days where the S&P 500 was up or down by 2%, from March to May, there were 12 such days. And from June to July, and thus far in August, there have been zero such days. Now we got close at the beginning of August when there was a bit of tariff uncertainty and some volatility in the markets. But we've had significantly less volatility than earlier in the year and strong returns historically. And the bond market similarly has had stronger performance this year compared to 2024, both in yield and in total return. So that's a quick synopsis of the stock and the bond market. The one thing I will say is the valuation of the stock market, the S&P 500, remains high, but it's been undergirded by some very strong corporate earnings reports in this most recent earnings season. So we'll stay tuned to that. Now on to the big economic event from a small town in Wyoming. The Jackson Hole Economic Symposium starts this Thursday. It's hosted by the Kansas City Federal Reserve Bank. It was started in 1978, and the story goes that in 1982, it was moved to Jackson Hole to entice then Fed Chairman Paul Volcker to come because he enjoyed fly fishing. And it worked. He came, and it has stayed there. So this significant economic event happens every August in this small town in Wyoming. It's a very exclusive event. 120 to 150 people are invited by invitation only. And that includes bankers, economists, academics, and a small number of selected journalists. I'm sorry to say I did not get an invite this year. But the purpose of the event is to just have open dialogue, discussion, debate about current economic policy. And the theme for this year, for 2025, is labor markets in transition, demographics, productivity, and macroeconomic policy. Ooh, doesn't that just give you shivers? That may not sound too interesting to you, but it is a significant event. Why is it important? Why are we paying attention to it? Well, at the end of the week, it culminates with a speech by current Fed Chairman Powell. And that can often signal what the Fed might be doing later this year in terms of interest rates. And there's been a lot of talk about the potential for rate cuts by the end of the year. So we will be paying close attention to that, and you can too. That's our market update for this week. Thanks for listening.